So I had one other question I wanted to ask Flo, and it was really, so hearing kind of what we've been talking about and what you've seen in your experience as a homeowner with 2 VA, 1 not VA. Perhaps some of your brothers and sisters have experienced some of the, we could say discrimination or
Sure.
not discrimination, whatever.
Call it what you want.
You call it what you want to call it, but as obviously as somebody who is as a well-known individual in the United States, what would be some of your advice that you would give to your fellow veterans, brothers and sisters that are going to go buy a house that may or may not, depending on the geographic location, run into this? What would you say? What would you provide for them for information to say to stop, to prevent that or to avoid it?
Well, I think you got to find the right person to work with. You got to find the right realtor that is going to go out there and fight for you.
Yes.
I mean, really, that is because in certain, you're locked in a box without that individual, unless you yourself are, trained realtor.
Sure.
But I think, the biggest thing I would say, that's why, you got to go interview the person that you're going to pick to work with, right? The person that's going to help you buy that next home or your first home, right? You got to know that they got your best interest at heart. And so when you have an individual realtor that he or she understands the process, understands VA, and can go out there and say, call out, other agents or sellers who are, if we call it discrimination or not, right? Saying things or acting like, VA is so wrong.
Correct.
Or they're not acceptable.
Yeah.
That person will be fighting on behalf. So that would be my, biggest word of advice. Find your advocate who's going to work for you, because that's what they do. They work for you. You get to pay them, all right? And they get paid in the end for this. But you got to make sure that you have best interests at heart and that they're fighting that battle for you and keeping you up to date.
One of your previous episodes of this show was perfect when you said when you bought your first house, or you interviewed 3 different real estate agents, four agents. I mean, that is, folks, I'm telling you right now, that is absolutely pivotal. I know mom and dad or brother, sister will give you a recommendation, whatever. Don't, especially if you're using a very niche benefit like the VA loan, you have to work with someone that is a CME, as a subject matter expert. And I know I watched one of your other episodes and you said I interviewed 4 agents. I was just like, you know what? That's what you got to do. That's what it boils down to.
They have to sell you on why you should work with them.
Yes.
That's the biggest piece. You're not doing them a favor. They're not doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Right? No, you're doing them a favor if you just say, okay, this is great. I'll take you, right? Without actually doing your homework. And if you are a realtor, you should be excited that, you're going to work for, and with or for an individual or a family that is willing to do that process. Because at least that throughout the whole process, they're organized and they have a good thinking process, and you guys are going to make a good decision. You'd think anyway.
Yeah, no, it's perfect. And the other guys, like buyer's agents, our veterans can't pay them.
Right.
So you guys, buyer's agents, they're free because they're paid by the seller side. So it's awesome.
And then having it, like I think you touched on it, I think the most important thing is advocate, finding that advocate. Because in some of these marketplaces, like we said before, they are advocating. They're putting in your contract. Your contract could be just as good or not better than others, and they got to be willing to, kick doors in to make sure that seller knows that you're a good buyer.
Amen.
But I know this has been great. Flo, thank you very much.
Unbelievable.
For being on the show.
Thank you, Flo. Thank you for service. Thank you for showing up on our show. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is
great.
great.
Yeah.
So, hey, thank you again for tuning in. It's been another great episode of Homeownership Heroes. I'm Bryan Bergjans.
Rick Bettencourt.
And we'll see you next time.